December 30th, 1993, Inglewood, California. Kurt Mox, Eddie Van Halen during the In Bloom solo. Earlier, Eddie was drunk and making racist remarks to Pat Smear, who admired him. Eddie asked if he could play on stage with them, and Kurt said no, but that he could play by himself on stage. When they are done, Eddie got a little down and was drinking alone. Backstage, Courtney started yelling at the tour manager, saying Kurt is being an asshole to Eddie. The doors opened at 7, I believe. Meanwhile, 20 minutes away, El Duce is hanging out at the rock shop where Courtney was filmed in 1991. He was waiting for his friend who was inside, and Duce was outside around 8. She shows up with the offer and says her old man has been a real asshole. I agree, sometimes he changes vocabulary in retellings, and wasn't it Ian who confirmed that she later calls the rock shop through phone records? Tom seems to believe it, and there was a third guy, but he left Facebook. I did find Sepp, who changed his name, lives in Austin, moved the store there, now he changed his name to Darius Sepp, with a different spelling of the last name. But his photos of the rock shop with them working, are we sure Sepp took the test? Because the third guy lived there and he was Duce's junkie roommate. Scraggly, dirty, blonde hair, thin but pot-bellied. He's rough looking, that guy seems as reliable as Dylan. Sepp was just a drinker, very healthy looking, sharp and witty. He's a businessman, not a junkie. Allen used it to his advantage and is a militant type. Definitely not bothered by dead buddies. He trained Riverdale police and martial arts, also very smart, keen. But no way did El Duce get his head cut off by a train. He died for talking, and I know you know this. Who the hell gets their head cut off by his feet somehow, getting stuck on train tracks like an old western movie? Allen threatened Brent Alden and said he could never prove that he even met Courtney. He told Richard Lee that he'll walk freely and the rumor will just go away. No one knows California is full of psychotics. The LAPD gets away with murder and are just as psychotic as the psychos they are paid to protect. Cults come out of LA, Mexico to California to Seattle is all West Coast Mexican black tar networking. Tom should have never involved himself in that ordeal, it wasn't his business. The SPD were a bit on edge with Briggs, who was also in the Ian's film, as opposed to Tom and Richard, who were more of a clown and nut to them. In December 1994, Tom said they were still testing the gun. Nothing came of it, Kurt's hands are nowhere near the trigger. The autopsy report shows Kurt was in full respiratory depression and organs shutting down. No bruising from these loaded syringe jabs, no back splatter. Tom is using pure theoretics as if it were evidence of forged notice in the eye of the beholder. Why 3 bullets? Would you wanna mess up a suicide, not having that extra bullet? 3 times the lethal dose, prove it with the autopsy report. The credit card, give me a break, everyone had his money. Kurt didn't need to pay for a cab. Anything that didn't involve ID, he could just call the cabs and they will pick up whatever he wants and give him a lift whenever he wants. Why doesn't Tom ask for the cigarette butts? Get DNA tests then.
How the hell is the Rome note and second note important? She lies, who cares? I'm sorry, but Tom's defense of Dylan is a bit ignorant and naive of him. What would a murderer do? Half-truth, Kurt wasn't suicidal, very honest of Dylan. Good boy, he stays in ratty hotels. Half-truth, he has stayed in nice hotels with Courtney. Tom tells the story and pinches the words best friend around, but who told him this? Courtney says he had no friends. He retells the conversations with Dylan, and it sounds like coaching, to be honest. Every interview he uses the same lines, same vocabulary, that's memorization. Memory is not perfect, Ed. Give away that any investigator will suspect as a well-rehearsed story. Terry drove past his own district under Lee and told his story and died from the gunshots.
Jessica is real innocent, right? She was groomed by Courtney, she was manipulative and smoked smack. Renee and Callie trafficking drugs and needles at Jimmy Boyle's, along with Joe, Bonnie, Underberg.
Oh, Renee was the biggest pusher of them all. One junkie speaks up, suppresses, leaves out certain things, and I really don't think Tom and Dylan and Ernest were alone at that house. You know other people were there, now everyone is against WKK, digging for dirt on them and obstructing a very solid investigation they have going. Not you, I believe, devil's advocate is needed. I told WKK that they are ready. If you were to be their guest, you made Elliot's head